Since you guys really enjoy watching my hatching videos, I decided to pick a 24 dozen backyard mix of silkies, full bred silkies. I make sure backyard breeds like leghorn and any other brown layers that the seller may have. So I have got these eggs today and just stopped in the incubator. So far the temperature is going up and down because all the eggs need to be warmed to the exact temperature. So I'm gonna update you on day 7 on when I can actually candle these eggs. This is the day 7 on the update of the eggs. So we are going to candle every last single one of these eggs and take out any infertile ones and put them inside the egg cart and just throw them away in the trash. So let's go ahead and get that started. Starting with egg number 1, we have a bloodline, which means that this egg has died during early development, which makes the embryos dead and will never be able to hatch. This egg here is developing just fine, nice, strong, thick veins, and I believe that this is a backyard mix. Um, so we want to see the embryo moving around like this one is, and have thick veins up to the yolk sac, which should cover half the egg. Any lines or red marks, every blurry red mark means the embryo died during development and has quitted to failure to progress. After counting most of these eggs, I was only able to get about 7 eggs that was fertile and had veins. The rest was either had a bloodline, wasn't fertile, or just nothing going on in the egg at all. I suspect these two here, these 2 eggs there, I think they're suspicious. I don't think they're fertile, but I don't know because they're so dark. So I'm just keep those in there for another 7 days and see how that goes. So I'm gonna see you on update 14. This is the day 15th update on these chicken eggs. So we are going to candle each and last one of these eggs and throw away the quitters and the ones that weren't fertile to begin with. So let's go ahead and candle all these eggs. Starting off, we have egg number 1. Um, I don't see any development at all, and if there was, it's no longer there. So this egg can go into the egg carton. Egg number 2, I can see that it was veins in here, but they all retracted and made a small circle underneath the air sac, which is the part there. So this egg is a quitter and did not survive up to day 15. So let's go into the egg carton. Egg number 3 definitely has some development. Half the egg is dark and I see something in there moving. So I can confirm that this is a living embryo. So this will go back into the incubator to be put on lockdown on Monday. Egg number 4, we have another living embryo. As you can see, the veins are healthy and the embryo is slow, just moving about. It might have like a couple of thick veins, but it's not a blood circle, it's just a thicker vein in the egg, which egg is mostly covered. So I'm gonna put this back in the incubator. So I have another egg that I'm not too sure about, but we'll be able to confirm on day 18 on this is a living embryo. So I'm gonna put it back in the incubator for now, to count it back on day 18 on lockdown. Moving on to the silky eggs, most of the egg is covered with the embryo, and the veins are looking fine. I'm gonna keep the camera still so you can see the movement in the egg. As you see, we can have movement. So this is a fertile living embryo. Same thing on this other silky egg. This could be a black Asian also, but most likely a silky. Most of the egg is starting to be covered, and the embryo is preparing for a lockdown and be able to hatch in 4 to 5 more or 6 more days. Here's another embryo. This one is more lively than the other ones. Off camera is very much more detailed, and the embryo is moving freely and its leg is doing good. So I'll expect this one to hatch on lockdown. So after counting all these eggs, I can confirm that we have 14 eggs. We have 7 of these backyard mix, and we have 5 of this of silky, may possibly black Asians mix in here too. So out of 24 eggs, which are 2 dozen, we only got a dozen and a half of chicken eggs, possibly to hatch during lockdown. So I'm gonna talk back to you guys on day 18 of incubation and put these eggs under lockdown, where we will close this top forever until all chicks hatch and dry, and this humidity will be dropped. This number will be dropped by 20%, which will go through 50 through 60% humidity, able for these chicks to stay moisturized and not be able to shrink wrap during hatching. So I'm gonna see you guys on day 18. Okay, so today is day 18. So today is the beginning of lockdown, where the eggs will be placed on the take off the turner and put straight directly on the hatching grid, so it can be ready to prepare for hatch, and the embryo can move up to the air sac and puncture it and hatch from there. So I am going to take all my eggs and place them on the hatching grid. Count them before I do. Maybe 2 or 3 will stay on on one of these turners, while the rest will be placed because I added them on a different time. So humidity, I'm only gonna put it up by 50 through 60. So because last time most of my eggs drown in humidity, so I'm assuming that the further down they are to the water, the higher the humidity. So I'm just gonna raise it up by a little tad bit to keep the eggs comfortable, to get ones that's not ready to hatch comfortable, and the ones that are hatched enough moisture to be able to turn around the egg and not shrink wrap. So let's go ahead and candle these eggs. So now all the eggs are placed on the mat. I will not be opening the incubator from this point on. Even for those two, I still will not be opening it until those hatch first. So I'm gonna check on these 2 eggs on day 21 and to remove every chick into the brooder. So during the meantime, I am going to prepare the brooder and move my existing chicks or teenagers out the brooder and move into a bigger coop outside, which I made in my previous video. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that after day 21, where 3 of these, at least where these chicks pip. That's why I will prepare the brooder, and I will record a small clip of me prepping the brooder, so you guys can see on how I do the process on each hatch I do. So I'm gonna see you guys whenever I get a pip or a chick. Okay, so within a day or a couple hours, like within around 8 to 6 hours of putting them on lockdown, we have 1 pip on this egg here, and 1 on this silky egg here. 4 eggs that's need a couple more days to rotate, and 6 eggs that are ready to hatch within any time between from here to day 21. Those probably won't hatch like day 24 or day 20, anything after day 21. Basically anything after 21. So these eggs will remain on the grid, and I will still have a recording video whenever these ones hatch. Hopefully I can get one for every individual, but I can't make any guarantees since I'll probably be at school when some of these decide to hatch. But I will be there when they pip, so I can know that for sure. So these 2 may have up to 8 hours to hatch, so I'll be right there waiting for them to hatch. And while these may or may not be pipped yet in the inside. So during the middle of the night while I was asleep, I came to check on the incubator, and we have 1 chick here which hatched from this egg recently. I think this is a silky or a black Asian. It's one of the each. This egg will be next, and then followed by these other 3, which we just pipped the shell. I don't know about this one at all, but I will not open this incubator until all these eggs here hatch, and then I can open that to put them on the grid. Yeah.
My heart is bleeding, I know the pieces. Which one is broken and one is weak? 'cause I have seen them fall apart. I have no rules apart to play. I didn't have anything to say. Follow your heart, don't overtake it. If you leave it behind, someone will break it. I left you my heart, what did you do? You used it and abused it. You left me all sharp and soft. Was my love untrue? Was it that bad? You have no answers in life. Don't know without you, how will I survive? Alone. Alone with broken heart. Alone. Alone with broken heart. Follow your heart, don't overtake it. If you leave it behind, someone will break it. I left you my heart, what did you do? You used it and abused it. You left me all sharp and soft. Was my love untrue? Was it that bad? You have no answers in life. Don't know without you, how will I survive? Alone.
So after hatching 2 eggs of all my eggs, one else hatched, which is a black Asian, which hatched from a small silky sized egg like the one that you see right there. So I have moved the other 2 into the brooder, which is right here next to the incubator, with a heat lamp and a Tupperware container. So when they're older, I'm gonna move them into this cage here. You see those 2, the silky and the Easter egger. I'll eventually move them off to a bigger coop that I made outside in a late project that I showed you guys, and put them and transition these into the bigger cage. But as right now they're too small to go right there at the moment because they may freeze because of the decline in temperature if I add the heat lamps. I'm wait a little bit before adding them into there, at least when they get their feathers. So in the meantime, I'm going to end this video and give you guys a further update on another video on how the chicks and how many hatched in total, and prepare you guys for another project that I will be doing within the next 3 weeks or 21 days from now. I have a secret thing going on at school that I'm going to show you guys within a month's time. So I'm going to see you guys then.